And out of his very successful book, a New York bestseller, Imagine Heaven, and then came along the devotional, just recently out with his wife, Kathy. And one of the things I love about the book, John, is the diversity. You've got children, you've got elderly people, you've got people that are well-educated, you've got others that blue-collar workers, and everybody in between that have these different perspectives, but the same understanding in some ways about what it will be like when we die.
Yeah, it's amazing, actually. And I think that actually gives some validity to these stories. Like we've said, 1 out of 25 people, according to the Gallup poll, have had them. And the people I interviewed, of the 1,000 people that I write about, are like doctors, spine surgeons, lawyers, bank presidents, airline captains, TWA airline pilots, pastors, people who, to make up stories of heaven, does nothing for them. They don't need the money.
Yeah, they're not trying to write a book or something.
They don't. I know them. And I know what it's like to set aside, your practice as a spine surgeon and travel around to witness to what you experienced in heaven. And there's no motivation there. There's no financial gain, and you get looked at sideways like, are you crazy? And yet, what they're all describing correlates. And that's what I tried to show in Imagine Heaven, that all their stories correlate to the picture God's already given us in Scripture through the prophets and through Jesus. And so, in the devotional, we're trying to help us fix our eyes on heaven.
So 35 years, you hear more than 1,000 of these stories. Were you surprised how they lined up with Scripture?
I was amazed. And I was confused as well, because many times Christians have pushed these stories away. And so Christians themselves who have had these experiences have been reticent to come forward and talk about them because they would be shunned. But something that common we need to wrestle with and make sense of. And that's what I was trying to do, is show that yes, people have their own interpretation of their experience, which is true of everything. Every good gift of God we can take and it points toward God, or we can corrupt it and interpret it in our own way and point away from God. That's true of these as well.
It's not only, followers of Jesus that are having these experiences, but many people that had very little or no understanding of the Bible, and it's brought them into relationship with God. And maybe you're one of those people watching today and you have an interest in heaven and what happens after we die. I'd strongly recommend this book, Imagine Heaven Devotional, and you can get your own copy with your best minister gift, 1-800-265-3100 or crossroads.ca.